My name is Nicamer, Tolentino. I work for the San Francisco Sheriff's Department. I'm one of the program coordinators here in San Bruno Jail. What I do is I oversee programs. Right now I'm overseeing the violence program. It's called RSVP, Resolve to Stop the Violence Project, and we house men with violent charges like assault, robbery, gun, gang, murder, things like that. And what we do, we help them with some kind of tools so that when they get out, they have some type of skills to use instead of getting into another violence or getting some kind of like criminal activity or whatnot. Also receive the parenting child visits to help men see their kids if they have no stay away from them, so that they can have that connection while they're incarcerated and have their kids be part of their life as well. I first heard of Kingian Nonviolence from Kazu. I met him at a workshop in the community in Oakland about a year ago, and he just talked about with so much passion about this program. So about a few months later, like almost a year later, I finally attended the first Kingian Nonviolence workshop, and where I met Mr. Jonathan Lewis. And I was so impressed and inspired by both Kazu and Jonathan's just passion for this work and how they really brought life into this program, this curriculum. And so I approached Jonathan about coming to the jail, and since then we've been collaborating, and the following month they came out here and did the first Kingian Nonviolence workshop with the inmates in San Bruno Jail. And the result was phenomenal. I mean, we had 19 guys who really, I think, were touched by the program, and I think the sharing was really deep. We had about 4 or 5 staff from both Five Keys and Walden House, and just the energy was really powerful and just beautiful. You know, the whole teaching about the 6 principles, the different dynamics of violence, levels and all that, you know, the guys that are here, I think like myself, you know, we missed that, although I made a different decision in life. But I think a lot of men, or all the men here, needs to hear that. We need to be taught about the rudiments of violence, where it comes from, where it's rooted at, and how can we deter from going to that violent path. And then with that, also with the 6 principles that Dr. King created, you know, it's a perfect regimen of really bringing peace into the community and to our lives. And so when I got that from the training, I mean, by the second day, I knew I had to approach Kazu and Jonathan about coming here, because being in this environment, working in this environment, I knew that we need to hear that. We need this curriculum in here so that we can help the guys not come back. I grew up in San Francisco, and actually grew up in a part of San Francisco where it wasn't, I wouldn't say it's peaceful. I went to a high school called Woodrow Wilson High School, and the high school we're between back then was the Geneva Towers, Sunnyvale, Viz Valley, Hunters Point, and the Mission. So I kind of grew up with violence, and seeing people getting jumped left and right, getting beat up, it really kind of like affected me. And I knew that when I grow up, I want to do something about it, the solution versus the problem. And so when I got my degree in like health science, a lot of like anti-violence work, violence work, and then when I got into grad school, I really focused my research around incarcerated communities and how they're being treated and the mental health aspect of it and what happens when they get out. But I do it because it's something that I want to feel passionate about, that I really believe in, that we need to help these guys get some kind of skills in them. Give them a second chance, basically. My ideal and long-term goal is to really make Kingian part of the curriculum, maybe having you guys come here every single month, and having some kind of like hopefully budget set aside for this so that we can afford to bring you guys in on a monthly basis, because we have the population. We're always going to have people who can and will want to be in this program. So that's not the problem. So it's about how do we bring in the program and have it part of our operational budget, and you know, have all that kinks worked out. So that's really my ideal, because I think it is a great program. It's a right and appropriate program for our population. I mean, non-violence in a pretty much violent environment, and the thing is, so far, you know, from last month when the guys took it, they all got it. It spoke to them personally, and I think I could tell it by this morning, it's doing the same thing to the same guys. I mean, for the first hour I asked them, they're loving it. They go, this is what I need. So they're thankful already. It's only been the first hour so far. So imagine after 2 days, it's going to be a phenomenal change for them. I think we have this really, sadly, strong, stigmatized like vision for men who come out of the prison or jail. It's almost like they're like banned for life, that they can never be part or be welcome in society, which I think is kind of wrong. And I think that's one of the biggest contributors for them coming back, because they can't find any kind of resources or jobs, and they're kind of forced to go back to, sadly, do some kind of either robbing or something, because they don't know how to, find a job or feed themselves or their families. So I think as a nation, we need to really be open about giving them second chance and not be so quick to judge them, because not all of them have, really severe charges. Some could be simple as theft, like stealing a candy bar or something. But if they were in probation or parole, it's going to be like that. Stealing a simple candy bar or whatnot could mean like a 6-month or a year sentence because they broke parole or probation. So we need to really hold back on our judgments, really, and be open to them come back to our community, because they do want to make amends and they do want to be part of our community again, badly so.